Hey guys, so in today's video, I'm going to be talking to you all about the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte 24-Hour Foundation. And this video is going to be for you guys that, might already love it and you just want to learn more about it, or if you just want to hear like my opinions, recommendations, application tips, products that I would recommend wearing it with. And if you haven't tried this foundation yet and you're curious about it, hopefully I can answer a lot of your questions. Also, I did go to the drugstore and purchase as many shades that they had in stock, so that way I could do swatches for you guys. So I have that. I swatched them all on a piece of paper so you can really see like the difference between all the tones and undertones and stuff. There are a total of 12 shades, and I am missing 3 of them, unfortunately. They didn't have them in stock. This is gonna be an exciting video. I'm like super pumped about it because you guys know I'm obsessed with this foundation. And I'm just so happy that it's like a drugstore price point. And just so you guys know, I am gonna be reading a lot from my phone or glancing at my phone. I'm not texting. Okay, so I know a lot of you guys, well, I've heard from a lot of you guys that live in like Australia, New Zealand, or other countries. The packaging for this is actually different. I don't know if that's the same formula. I have no idea. It's in a glass bottle in other countries. I'm not sure if it's the same thing. I don't see why it would be different, but it is in a different package, so I don't know for sure. But the price point for this in the US, this is anywhere between like $11 and $15 or $16. So the main thing that made me just totally fall in love with this foundation was the fact that it was yellow. It had a yellow undertone to it, and I have never had that experience with a drugstore foundation before. It has always been way too beige, way too pink. So that's why I was never really trying drugstore foundations before, just because it was always too beige. The thing is, if you're more on the pink side, I don't think I would recommend any of these shades to you because all these shades, pretty much all these shades, which I'll show you guys, all the shades have way more yellow in it. The only one is probably 101, which it looks a little bit more pinky. So many people love the L'Oreal, is it L'Oreal True Match? I'm pretty sure it's L'Oreal True Match. Yeah, you know what, I gotta be honest, I hate that foundation. I tried it because I know it was really popular. I think I tried like W3, W4, and I just really didn't like that foundation. It felt almost like serum-y to me, and it was like very wet, and I looked greasy, and I just really didn't like it. There was like not one thing I liked about it. I didn't like the color, I didn't like the application, I didn't like the way it felt on my face, I didn't like how it wore throughout the day. There was just like not one thing I liked about it. But this one is a totally different story. It says the finish is demi-matte, and it doesn't say it's full matte. I would say this foundation is like for sure very matte. It says wears up to 24 hours. Honestly, I kind of agree with that because the foundation, well, actually all my makeup that you see right now, I put it on at 9 o'clock this morning and it's now 11 o'clock at night. But I wanted you guys to see what it looked like at the end of the day. So I've been wearing this foundation for pretty much over 12 hours now. I'm pretty sure like the question I get asked most often is what foundation do you recommend for really oily skin? And I wish I had like an auto reply and just say this foundation. This has been the best mattifying foundation. It has the best wear throughout the day because I told you I used to have really, really oily skin. Like I know it might be hard to believe right now, but I did. My foundation used to like move all over my face throughout the day and it was a pain in the ass. Like I totally know if you're oily, I understand how you feel, but I wish I had this back then. A few of you, very small percentage of you have said it still doesn't work for your oily skin. So I know it's not going to work for everybody, but I really, really feel like if you have problems with very oily skin, using this foundation is going to help you a lot. It says coverage on the back. It says it's medium coverage. Honestly, I would give this a high or full coverage. When I put it on, it covers everything. I don't even see like a freckle showing through. So I would have to say this stuff is full coverage, not medium. And then the texture, it says it's an airlight texture. It's definitely not thick, but it's not runny either. So it's kind of like that in between, but it wears very, very light. I would compare it to coverage of Studio Fix Fluid Foundation from MAC with a much lighter wear. Also, it doesn't have the smell that Studio Fix Fluid has, which I know is a reason why a lot of people can't use it. There is no flashback with like flash photography. I take flash photos all the time. There was one time I posted on Twitter where I said, oh my god, it has bad flashback, but it was like a powder that I used that had the flashback. I don't remember what it was, but it was not the foundation, just so you know. So I talked about just the product in general, and now I'm going to tell you guys how I wear it. So if you don't watch my other videos or if you haven't watched my tutorials, I'm just going to tell you the products that I like to pair with it or how I like to prep my skin when I use the Infallible foundation. Okay, so the first thing you definitely want to do, like for sure, before you put your primer or your foundation on is moisturize. Like, definitely want to moisturize your skin. You guys know, if you watch like my skincare videos, this is my favorite moisturizer ever. It's very lightweight, fragrance free. It doesn't ruin your makeup. It doesn't make you oily. It doesn't do anything besides moisturize and hydrate your skin. So this has always been, since high school, this has been my favorite moisturizer. So this is what I use before I put my makeup on. So if you have dry skin, I mean, I can't say from personal experience. My skin is more like dehydrated. It's not like dry, flaky. I have had times where I've used the Infallible foundation and it clings to drier areas of your face, especially when I used to self-tan my face. I don't self-tan my face anymore. I just used really dark foundation and just kind of mask my face, I guess you could say, to try and make it blend into my the rest of my body. So one of the products is the MAC Fix Plus. I like to give myself like just 1-2 spritzes right before I put the foundation on, usually after my primer if I'm feeling like really dry. This is still one of my favorite primers. I think I talked about this in my favorites. This is the Makeup Forever Hydrating Primer. This one just feels exactly like it says. It just feels very hydrating. This is like it's not white, it's kind of like a light blue color. It just feels really good on my skin. I feel like it just creates a really nice even surface. It doesn't make me oily throughout the day like some primers do when they're more hydrating or meant for drier skin. And it also doesn't have that really like slick feeling where it feels like you just like lathered silicone all over your face and like everything slides around. You know what I mean? Next favorite primer. This would be great if your skin is more on the dry side. So this is the Maybelline Baby Skin Instant Pore Eraser. This one's great because it's very inexpensive compared to like the Makeup Forever primers. This is what I like to use like in here, or like around my nose if I'm having like a real dry day. I don't always use it all over my face. That's just typically like the time of the month if I'm just feeling like real dry and like dehydrated, crusty. This one definitely has that more like silicone-y kind of like slick feeling to it. So if you don't like that, don't get this. And then I'm going to talk to you really quickly about what I use, the tools I use to apply it. The brushes that I personally like to use when I apply this foundation is the good old Sigma F80 Flat Top Kabuki. I just recently switched back to this one, mainly because my other brushes are so dirty. There's probably like sea creatures living inside of it right now. It's like that disgusting. I still love using this. The only area I don't care for it is like up in here and like this area. It's kind of like a little bit too big. What I do when I apply this foundation is is this like stippling or packing? I'm not sure, but it's not like, for me, it's not a foundation where I want to like swirl it into my skin. That doesn't really work that well. It kind of goes on unevenly. So when I apply the foundation, I do more like, you know what I mean? The other brush, like I said, this one has sea creatures growing inside of it right now. This is one of my all-time favorite brush is for liquid foundation. This is the Morphe G2 brush, and this is from the Gunmetal collection. But this is a really good one. If you could see what the actual shape was, it's kind of got like a little taper thing going on. So this one's really good to get like in here, and in smaller areas around your face. My favorite finishing powder still to use is the Select Sheer Press Powder from MAC, and this is in the shade NC30. So this has just been my go-to setting powder for the past, God, I don't know, a couple years. Also, another way that I've been wearing the Infallible foundation, it's a tip that I learned from Desi actually, and she told me she just applies it like here in any areas that you might get a little bit more oily, because it really helps to control oil throughout the day. So I like to just put it here and then do a lighter coverage here so that way it blends better into my neck and like the rest of me. Hopefully that makes sense. I think it does, but that's just the way that I've been doing it lately. And the foundation that I've been using like on the other area of my face is the Armani Luminous Silk Foundation. So this is shade number 6, which is like crazy tan. So it is a little bit lighter coverage, so I've just been kind of adding that to like the rim of my face. And that's what I did today, and I just really like the way that it turns out. I like the way that it wears throughout the day. I feel like I make a new like foundation cocktail like every single day. Another foundation that I use to blend with the L'Oreal, like mix it or just use it like around the rim of my face, is the EX1 Cosmetics Invisiwear Liquid Foundation, and this is in the color F200. All right, so I'm pretty sure I've been talking for like a really, really long time. Oh shit, I almost forgot the swatches. Jesus. Okay, so now for the swatches. This is probably like the part that like everybody actually cares about. So I have shades 101 through 105 on this piece of paper right here, as you can see. All right, so I'm gonna use a pointer because my right hand is like so splotchy right now, it's embarrassing. 101 and 102 are like the only two shades in the whole Infallible line that I feel like have a little bit of pink, either just neutral or neutral to pink undertones in it. If you are really, really, really fair, I don't know if this foundation is gonna work for you. I feel like it kind of just jumps up to like a little bit more tan. So shade 103, 104, 105, and the rest of them are pretty yellow. They're not orange because I feel like I can get away with it and not be like weirded out when I look at my face, you know? I will get weirded out if it's too orange, but it's definitely yellow. Shade 105 is what I'm wearing today in the center of my face, and it's definitely like does not match like my last video when you guys saw like my regular skin tone. Definitely doesn't match me when I'm not self-tanned. I don't know why that was so hard for me to say. MAC NC30 definitely looks like shade 105 to me. Makeup Forever HD 127. I absolutely love this color, mainly because it's more neutral, and you can see like just this next to like 105, you can just see it's not like more beige, it's just more neutral. It has just a more neutral undertone to it. Tarte Light Sand is what I used the other day, and I think like even for me when I look at this piece of paper, I'm like, holy shit, how am I wearing 105? Like look how dark it is. Just remember it is on a piece of like stark white paper, so it's not like skin tone that it's on right now. So this is like my regular skin tone, like natural Katie. That's my name, by the way. My name is Katie. I do have a name that's not Lustrelux, just so you guys know. So here's the Armani. Let me get my pointer. Where's my pointer? As you can see, it's a lot less yellow than a lot of these colors. I think you guys can see it, but it's definitely just like more, I don't even know what the word is, brown? Neutral? Okay, and then on this paper, this is where I have shades 106, 107, 109, and 110. Like I said, I'm missing shade 108, 111, and 112. But I just feel like these are like really, really beautiful, beautiful, deep skin tone foundation colors. So 106 is the color that I used I used it in like a lot of videos. Honestly, it's like, it's too dark for me. It was like, I'm pushing it, you know what I mean? Hopefully that can help you guys like give you a guide onto what color you might need. 109 and 110, which are really pretty colors. Honestly, 109 looks darker on this piece of paper. I don't know why. I have a feeling this is gonna be a much longer video than I was intending for it to be. But I just feel like I have so much to talk about with this product that I just wanted to make sure I got everything out there. Let me know what you guys think. If you use this foundation, if you really like it, or if you use it and you don't like it, maybe you could tell me what you don't like about it, just that way I can keep that in mind. Other than that, that pretty much wraps up this video. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and thank you so much for watching.